Welcome back to our SketchUp Pro tutorial series. We are looking at Plan Set 9 from the Harley Plan Set Blueprint package from Pittsco. This is our third video in this series. This is going to be a fairly long series. This is the third video of the series. In our first two videos, we worked through the plan set and created the plot plan. In the second video, we created the foundation, which ended up looking like this with all of our foundation footings, even the ones for the interior walls. In this video, this is what we are going to create. This is all of our walls for the house, and if I go in here and edit the group, you'll see that this is what it's going to come out with. So this is what we're going to create today, and in our next video after this one, we'll go in there and start putting in all of the locations for the doors and windows. So we're going to kind of separate the two, as this one will probably get us into about 15-20 minute mark. So go ahead and hide this one, and this is what we're going to start off with. For the measurements for this, the exterior wall we're going to create at 4 inches. All of our interior walls we're going to create at 4.5. The main reason is that there are two different ways whenever we're working in SketchUp. There's two different methods that you can do. You can create all of your pieces for the construction part of it. So our walls would be 3.5 inches, 5.5 inches if we're using 2x6s, etc. So they're built for all the framing and stuff. The other hand, we can create it for more interior design, so that the interior design part is accurate, and that's what we're going to do for this case. So our exterior walls goes right up to the edge of the foundation. We have our 2x4, which is what the wall's made up of, and then on the interior we have that 1/2 inch of drywall. So that's why we got 4 inches for the exterior walls. For the interior walls, we're going to have drywall on each side, so that's why we got the 4.5 inches. Okay. So for this, I want to go ahead and create a rectangle on top of my foundation. It's going to shimmer like this. So anytime you see any kind of face shimmering like this, that means that you have a group or a face on top of another group. Okay. We're not going to really worry about that because we're not keeping anything anyways. We're simply just going to create the walls, and we're going to delete all the other faces on this eventually. So this group is strictly going to be the wall group. Go ahead and do the offset, and our offset is going to be 4 inches. So 4, enter. At this point, whenever we're doing all of our measurements and creating all of our guides, we're going to go in here and go from the exterior. So make sure that you're going in and doing all your measurements from the exterior edge, not the interior part of the wall. So just for your reference. We are also just going to do the center lines of our walls to begin with, and then we'll go in there and create all of our actual walls. So the lines we're creating now is the center of all of our walls. So our first mark is going down, and it is going to be 10'3". From this way, again, our front door is over here. So going this way, it is 13'3". We're going to create one from that mark going over 10 foot. And if you did it correctly, this point to the outside edge should be 6'9". So as we go, we want to constantly make sure that and double check our measurements to make sure that everything is correct. That way we're not going to the very end and nothing is lining up. So this very last one should line up with 6'9". We want to go from the top edge down and create another one at 6'3". So at this point, I want to go ahead and draw out my lines. So I want to draw a line from here to here. From there to there. From here all the way across. And right there. I'm then going to erase these lines. Our next one is going from the very bottom, going up 6'3", and going from the far right, going over 13 feet. So we'll draw a line here. And drawing a line there. So this is what we should end up with. Just to kind of give you, make sure that you have everything correct. Kind of give you some measurements. So hopefully that kind of helps you out when it comes to making sure that all your measurements are correct. So at this point, we're going to need to, we have all of our center points of our walls. Now we're going to go in here and create the actual wall. So remember that our actual walls for all of our interior, all of these walls right here are going to be 4.5 inches. So take our tape measure and we're going to go on each side of our line 2.25 inches. And then if we double check, you'll see that now our overall width is 4.5 inches. So 3.5 inches for the stud, 1/2 inch for the drywall on one side, 1/2 inch for the drywall on the other side. And we're going to do that for all of our lines. There are a couple different ways that you can do this. You can do the offset tool, or you could probably do the offset tool. However, whenever you're doing the offset tool, you would have to go in here and erase lines over here and do all of that stuff. So it would really be a wash of time-wise. But it's really however you feel like you like to do things. I tend to always use the tape measure a lot of times, and I lay out all my guides for everything. So I tend to use this instead of using the offset tool and then correcting all my lines. So just kind of so that you're aware, there's multiple different ways to go about doing things. So come in here, take our rectangle tool, and now we are just connecting all of our dots. We'll come in here, we'll come back into this after we create all of our rectangle and all of our walls and actually fix and erase all of our lines. Make sure that, you know, all of the rectangles are hitting all of the corners, so that way you're completely accurate. A lot of times you'll really need to zoom in a lot of times in order to make sure that everything is correct. So this is what you'll see after you do all of that. Come in here, we can delete all of our guides really quick. And then come in here and we'll delete all of our interior lines for our walls. That way our walls are one solid piece, one solid group. So if I go in here to raise the walls up to 8 feet, 9 feet, whatever it may be, they'll all come at one time. We will not be raising the walls up in this video, as we want to make sure that we create all the openings or all the locations for where our windows and doors will be. So the walls will stay flat for this video. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and click and delete the interior parts of this so that they're not there. In our last bit, we're going to create where the front door is going to be at. So take my tape measure, I'm going to click on the far outside edge, and I want to find the center point of our front door. Our front door is 3 feet wide. Okay, and in this project we do know exactly how the makeup of all of our doors, all of our windows, and everything with this project, because we have the schedules for it. Okay, and that's something we'll get into later on. But for now, we're going to come in here, and our door is 3 feet wide. We are going to create our rough opening for our front door. So we want to add in an inch on each side. So we're going to go 1 foot 7 inches on each side. That gives us an overall width of 3 foot 2 inches. So we have an inch on each side for our rough opening, so that way we fit our door as well as all the trim and all of that stuff with the door. The rectangle tool, connect our dots, and we want to just erase this right line. If you erase this line, you'll erase the whole entire thing. So we'll just leave that alone right there. At this point, let's go ahead and triple click on our wall, right click, we'll make it a group, right click on the group and rename, and name it wall. You'll know you did it correctly when we take our push-pull tool. I'm going to edit the group, and you can pull it up like this. At this point, make sure you go in here and save your project. Again, when you're saving your project, make sure you save it as your first initials, PS9 for plan set 9. And this time we want to go ahead and resave this as wall. So first initials, PS9, wall, make sure you save that. Make sure that when you're taking your screenshots, you have your outliner panel open with all of our groups. And also come in here and create some of your dimensions in here. So not really, you don't have to do or dimensions for walls itself, just our a few of our major rooms. So take a screenshot of this, okay? Make sure it's the entire screen, upload it into our Schoology. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned in our next video where we go in here and create our walls and our doors. Again, you can find this blueprint set from Pitsco. This is the plan set 9. The plan set 1 was that potting shed. That is also that you can find on my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.